welcome back to another episode of Quis was right. Psych, nah, nigga, you thought you was this top.
No.
Yes.
Stop.
They're not even supposed to be acknowledged.
Stop.
Honestly, give them what you want.
You give me nothing of what I want. You try to do things, and then I have to come and fix them.
I try.
You try to do things, and I have to come and fix them. That is not helping.
Niggas
that is making more work.
Yo, niggas hate when you try.
Yeah.
Welcome back to another episode of Quis was right. Psych, nah, nigga, you thought you was this top. What you would call it? Nah, all jokes aside though, you were right. Hold up, let me explain to something.
I'm not always right, but I'm never wrong.
That was some real gay shit.
That's some real nut shit.
That was some real nut shit. Those are the words of a nigga who beat his wife. I'm letting you know that right now. Those are the words of a nigga. That's an abusive statement.
Back to the point I make where things are just said for no reason.
Absolutely none. Welcome back to another episode of Quis and Reese Show. Before we started, Quis and I were having a discussion about
the advancement of
I want to hear how
the
this
human mind.
Conversation started.
Oh,
just to but she wasn't here. I just want to hear how it started.
I mean, wait. If that's the case, we might as well just give them some off-camera mics. Oh, do we have any more wires?
No.
Damn. Wait. We go.
All right. Since you brought it up, it has nothing to do with y'all. I'm yelling at him right now. So. We have guests. We are not prepared.
No. They're not guests.
Stop.
They're not even supposed to be acknowledged.
Stop. You already acknowledged them because you offered to give them mics. I didn't acknowledge them.
Because you talked to them. Why did you talk to them?
No, you already acknowledged them because you were the first person to say, let's give them mics. I just said I wanted to hear how the conversation started. Did I say that I wanted to hear from you? No, I just said I wanted to hear how the conversation started and made a gesture, and you gestured over to him and said that I should give him a mic since I want them both a mic so we can hear the conversation start. No.
To restart a conversation, that is way too much.
We can summarize it.
Thank you.
Give me a mic.
Thank you. No. Now, to my point, again, sometimes, planning is a necessity. Because it would have been nice if, you were going to make the acknowledgement that at least the mic was there. Plus, even though they just here and they supposed to be part of it, it don't make sense for them to just sit there and be back there and be quiet. Because at some point, they going to laugh, they going to giggle, they going to make some type of chuckle or movement. And they deserve that. They human beings. So, that being the case, fuck you. Next time, I'm giving people mics. And next time, let me know ahead of time so that we can be prepared. So at least that when we have guests, if I have extra wires or some shit like that to bring, they can be brought. Because even though if they just want to sit there and just chime in whenever they feel like it, they should have been allowed to. Fuck you.
He does have a point. I won't be mad because he does have a point.
Yeah, he's not wrong. I ain't gonna hold it.
Yeah, he isn't wrong, but low key they weren't guests.
Oh
no,
they're all audience members.
At the end of the day, they still guests.
No, you all right in that sentiment.
What you mean? I brought to take off the Eventbrite.
Oh my God.
See? He chiming in.
All right.
You see what I'm talking about?
All right. This is crazy.
Thank you for proving my point.
All right. Now this nigga want to be what you would call it, David Tell. Wait, hold up. That's going into that one. That one's. There's a loose one around here.
Well, find it.
Nigga, God damn it.
God damn. There's a loose one right there by your foot. That loose one?
No, that's plugged in.
Copy.
That's plugged in.
All of these shits looks plugged in. So if there's a loose one, I don't see it.
Damn. Sorry for the inconvenience.
Shut the fuck up.
These niggas is horrible.
Shut the fuck up.
These niggas is horrible.
Don't say these niggas. Don't say these niggas. Who did this?
Welcome to the morgue show.
Whose fault is this? Who caused this?
Kaziz?
Not me. Not me at all. No.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, dysfunction. This is content. Dysfunction is art. I'm tired of y'all niggas acting like I'm not trying to be one of the first black actors out here trying to stick together with niggas making something happen. I'm tired of you two niggas.
Nigga, Jordan Peele has already done that.
What?
Yeah, I was about to say the first.
Like the first,
Like
Jordan
first
Peele
nigga
has
done
done that,
took it there for
that's like 4 times in the last couple years.
Yo, y'all
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Ain't he on movie number 3 by now?
I'm tired of y'all niggas. Y'all take everything too seriously. Shut up.
You just be saying shit.
Yes.
Oh, that's where the comment came from. Googling it.
That's that whole combo started with Googling it in the first place?
No, it didn't. No, it didn't. No, the fuck it
conversation started with Googling.
No. Let me tell you, the whole conversation started about babies, the baby mortality rate.
Okay.
It really started from there, and then we sidetracked and got off.
Y'all gonna split it?
Yeah, they gonna have to hold that. If y'all got an opinion and shit.
If anything, y'all can do at it. You feel me?
Hold up. I'm gonna just restart. I'm gonna restart the whole thing.
Alright, you good.
You good?
Yeah, the levels are like fine because that mic's a little bit, since it's one of the handhelds, it doesn't pick up. So I had to.
Yeah,
turn it
well,
up a little
actually,
bit.
you know what's weird? His shit picks up a lot. Those pick up a lot better than
Because
these.
you're holding them to your face.
No,
You have to hold it to your face.
Yeah.
Unlike these will pick me up from out here, it's gonna be really low. Yeah. That's the difference. But like if I'm here, I'm fine.
Yeah.
That you can talk like right
It's,
there.
if you listen to enough podcasts, you hear the term "eat the mic." That's all it is. So
So
just
that's $25 that I sent on Eventbrite. That'll go on to the next mic prop.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah, that 25. But listen, we're about to post
Peanut
tickets.
gallery if you want to do it. I've been trying to get somebody to
He
do
has.
it.
Oh, you know what I love? How I give him what he wants.
No, you don't
Indirectly.
No.
I subconsciously give him what he
You
wants.
give me nothing of what I want. You try to do things, and then I have to come and fix them.
I try.
You try to do things, and I have to come and fix them. That is not helping.
Niggas
That is
don't-
making more work.
Yo, niggas hate when you try.
Yeah.
I hate when you try to do my job.
This is exactly what being a black father feels like.
You're trying to do my job.
I'm trying my
I have
hardest.
a job. You
Y'all
have
live
a
in
job. Why are you
sunlight.
trying to do mine?
I'm trying to live in sunlight.
Ain't nobody saying thank you. I can't. Yo, listen.
Shut your fucking Troy Maxson ass up.
I don't even know who Troy Maxson is. Yo, please. You know what?
I'm honestly kind of offended that you don't know who Troy Maxson is.
I know
do you
Troy Ave.
Do you know who Troy
Yeah,
Maxson
exactly, nigga.
is? Do you know who Troy Maxson is?
No.
Do you know who Troy Maxson is?
Bro, you're told.
Do you know who Troy Maxson is? Morgan.
Google.
Exactly. Oh my God, the
All y'all
dad from
slap yourselves.
Fences.
All of you slap yourselves.
The father
How you
from
not-
Fences.
Wow.
How dare you
In
niggas?
my defense, I'm very.
Wait, hold up. This is to prove my
Goddamn.
point. We are not literate, nigga.
Hold up.
no,
Which Troy Maxson is he? Is he
the fuck are you
no
talking about?
Is he Earl Jones Troy Maxson?
Clearly, I'm
No.
not.
Or he Denzel Troy
I'm
Maxson?
clearly Denzel.
Earl Jones. I'm personally. I'm a
Clearly
fan of the Earl
Denzel.
Jones Broadway production.
Yeah, because you really want to be.
'Cause I was
Earl
about to
Jones.
say, like-
No. Have you really watched the? All right. So look, the thing for me.
I watched the Earl Jones.
No,
That
so
one
look.
was OD.
All right, so
Ain't
here's the
gonna
thing for me, and this is like a personal thing. Everybody's gonna have their own opinions on this. There's a very specific monologue in Fences that is like very famous. It's
talking about-
it's when Corey comes up to Troy and says, "Why don't you like me?"
Yeah, nah, why don't you love me?
And he said, "What? I ain't gotta like
I
you.
don't have
I
to
wake
like
up,
you."
I go out, I deal with these crackers, I bust my butt, I do all this shit, not because I like you, but because I have a responsibility to you." And that's something that, to me, especially because of the relationship that I feel like most young black men have with their fathers,
Bro.
it's something that we all can kind of relate to.
I ain't gonna lie.
In a way, like our dads don't come as well. At least my personal experience again.
Man.
My black father.
Fuck Troy
He taught
Maxson.
me a lot of great things, but he's never come
Wow,
and been like,
that's America's greatest dad.
pat
No,
me
he's
on the
not.
shoulder and been like, "Good job, son." Like, yeah, you know what I mean? It's a different type of dynamic that black kids have with their father.
Man,
so
fuck
that,
Troy.
so that monologue to me is like the most important part of the entire
Yeah, nah, that
like,
one that was
performance.
legendary.
Because
That was.
if you don't hit that on the tee, then all the rest of the moments between Troy and Corey
Yeah.
aren't as
Oh,
believable.
You really fucked with Fences. You
Oh, I
watch, you
love
watch plays?
Yeah, nigga, I love.
I'm not gonna lie, Fences was a great book.
Love Fences.
It was a great book, son.
I read that book.
You don't remember that shit in high school?
Nigga, yes, I do, but
And then
I know all the bullet
very
points.
hyped when I saw the movie was coming out and it's featuring Denzel Washington. That movie was fire. On
Honestly, didn't
many
see the
different
Denzel
levels.
one.
You know, like
I
he's
feel
going
you.
up.
I feel
but
like Earl
low-key,
Jones set the tone too much.
I feel like that character just made it kind of gave, I don't want to say confirmation, but approval to a bunch of like overly aggressive parents who were like who just don't feel like they need to socialize. Because when I talk to my white friends, dumb niggas' dads is the nigga. It's either they don't have a dad or it's like,
Yo, they mad cool.
or he's
But
you got
it's
this.
a different dynamic.
Or
when
you
it
in a
comes to
situation where he's
living
overly
in
like
America. The time in Fences. All
It was
right,
right after slavery.
Think about it. Every Friday when he got paid, you know
I
what he did?
feel-
What he gave with his check? He gave it to his wife.
Gangster. Listen.
$67.72.
All right, gave it to her too.
Said get busy.
That's for groceries, the crib.
Every week, $67.72.
And I'm gonna go
the
to the
story
bar
of
at
a
night.
sad man.
And he comes
went
home
out,
with a
though.
bottle of gin every Friday. If you actually watch and pay attention to
He
this
was
thing,
drinking it
every
He was fucking the shorty down the
pretty
block.
much- Yeah. All right. So look. First off, let's just
Bro,
go over.
fuck Troy, man.
No.
This nigga's
Stop. Let's actually. All right. First
Nah,
off,
Troy was lit.
if you actually
y'all
pay
niggas is
attention to the
crazy.
story of Fences, this is meant to explain the plight of an African American man trying to find his way in a world that is not meant for him in
Period.
America. He was a great baseball player in prison. Troy went to. If you actually watch this
Facts.
movie,
Yeah.
Troy has a moment where he finally talks to his son Lyons and explains to Lyons why he wasn't there. There are a lot of things in this movie that. Yes, it seems like they're trying to make it okay for the absentee black father, but that is actually not what they're trying to do.
I don't, not the absentee. Definitely the father that's there, but this overly stern, overly
Even
aggressive,
still, but
social.
But you see
this-
where it
that
comes
I don't
from
need
in
to
the movie, though.
I don't need to actually
or the play.
bro.
She's
I
about
don't-
to say something. We got a female opinion. In the
yeah,
room. I like
please,
that.
Toddy. We've seen enough of these faces.
A woman. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah, we need the
She's
female
a
opinion.
woman.
I
I've never
apologize.
seen the movie, but I feel like
You gotta hold it closer.
Yeah, take it.
I've never seen the movie, but I feel like I saw that clip that you're talking about, and I feel like he was
Closer.
emotionally absent, and it's not enough to just provide. You know, I
Yeah,
understand
it's the
black men.
it's the argument of I'm a provider. If you don't want to, like, get the fuck out
Not
of my
enough.
face,
you
bro.
have to emotionally nurture your children as well. You have to build bonds, and you know, didn't he end up alone at the end of the movie, dying by himself on death?
Partially. So to that point, I think the.
Shit.
Oh, y'all ain't see the head. Y'all ain't see the neck break.
We ever had a black woman hit a slam dunk
but now-
on the pod. That was it.
So now using
how
the
old
other
were the kids, though,
using
at
the
that
other
time?
perspective. No,
Bro,
using
that
the
doesn't
other
matter.
perspective in
Dying
the
alone
movie,
is not fun.
No,
No,
bro,
matter if
listen.
you had 50-year-old children or 20-year-olds. Or,
By your side.
I was talking.
Well, your children have their
You're
own
right.
lives as well, so they don't necessarily. I'm a personal believer that they don't have to like you either.
Now, no, hold up. And listen,
So, like-
you know what? Before you go any further, because I do hear the argument you're putting, and I think because we're all been in here, I will let you get at it. But my only thing is to that is I just don't feel like that's the true definition of a father. That's a definition
Okay.
of provider and things like that. Like, I have a great father. You get what I'm saying? And like when I compare it to like some situations that I speak on, and like even like I don't just whatever. When I compare it to some of the situations that I see and like with some of my friends and things like that, it's like I can call that nigga a father, like sometimes more than I can just like want to even like admit. But when I see it, like when I go and like deal with certain other people and I like they talk to me and it's just like, bro, their pops are just like it's not like you don't even have a dad. It's like you have a nigga who's making sure the house is straight, and then other than that, it's like
Very true.
you can't get no info from the nigga, you can't get no game, no nothing.
things. So two
But
things.
continue.
First, to her point, I think the strongest thing that I can pull from what she said is that the movie gives you the dichotomy of the loving mother and woman trying to show a stern man the faults that he has. So his wife Rose is a pillar of
was dope.
She nurtures Corey in the ways that you're trying to explain, but she's also constantly telling Troy, like, don't act that way. Don't talk to the boy like that. Why you gotta treat Lyons that way when he just come around, he asking you to borrow something, he's still your boy, help him out. If you want to be this stubborn, fine, give me your money, I'll give it to him. Like there's points in the movie where she just does things to be like
something with money. She bought something for like one of her sons
all this type
behind
of
his
stuff.
back, but it was for the better interest for it. So I think maybe it was baseball.
yeah, it was
I
football.
think he has
so-
an older brother that
It's
plays
a bunch of
football.
stuff. So look,
one went to the army.
So whole storyline for Troy, just so that everybody could get it clear, so we could go pick up across the points. Troy goes to
He's a
prison.
good dad.
Troy goes to prison
No.
after he gets a woman pregnant. He spends 20 years in prison. His mother, the woman that he got pregnant, didn't want to wait, but he was planning on being with her because he wanted to be with his son Lyons. So following him getting out of prison, he meets Rose, and now that's where the story basically picks up. He's been with Rose for 16 years. They have a young boy named Corey. He's 17 now, and then and they're just coming home after work, and that's where the story picks up, Troy and his friend coming home. The big moments throughout the story are they're building a fence. That's why the movie's called Fences. They're building a fence at the house. Every weekend, Corey's supposed to help Troy on Saturday build the fence, but he's been busy with football practice, and he's getting recruited by North Carolina. Troy doesn't want Corey to play football because Troy got really good at baseball in prison, got out in his 40s, and then wasn't allowed to really make it into the MLB after integration, because this is right after the Negro Leagues had finally integrated. So he's just bitter as a man. He's gone through a lot of hard times in life.
He was locked up, Jared. At the top, he was supposed
to do all of this stuff, but he didn't even find baseball till prison. So now that all of that unfolds again. Been with Rose for all these years. So the baseline of the story is fence is supposed to be built. Every weekend, Corey's going out to do football practice. He gives up his job working at a convenience store to go practice more, which is against Troy's wishes. And the whole story is basically centered around their relationship and him trying to create a man out of Corey in the way he sees fit.
I always felt that it was just choices, you know. How you're explaining is, you know, definitely true. I was more on the Corey side because I saw as, you know, you have choices you have to make, you know, for yourself. Your parents can only lead you off of what they know, what they've been through. And like you said, Troy's, you know, past experience has nothing to do with Corey. You know what I'm saying? He could have simply just been like, yo, look, this is what happened to me. I want you to, you know, be the best that you can be, you know?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
of course.
I just think like with that fences thing, especially that Troy character, is just like it promoted a lot of negative stereotypes like within black men, where it's like the whole movie. Like I don't remember him ever having like a moment where he like broke down and was like,
he has lots.
Like he broke down and cried and had emotional moments.
He has
the
a
bar
lot.
to it
With his son?
Huh?
With his son? Or by, like I don't give a fuck about a man being haunted by himself. Like I'm talking about the dichotomy with the child. Like the reason what I'm basically saying.
Conversations, yeah.
Have you?
No, it is.
Read the book.
I think it just. I think it was giving context and not justifying.
It's been
anything.
years.
No, you have to rewatch it, and then the whole project is like it's a play.
No, yeah.
So you have to. What makes it beautiful is the change. You're not going to look at the one scene when, you know, you see Troy is, oh man, he's just bitter. No, you have to, you know.
So does he become? Does he open up? Does he learn?
He becomes a better person. But the thing isn't the play isn't about Troy, and that's why so many people get confused.
Exactly.
So many people get skewed by the point.
It's
so
about
the
life.
same thing I tried to explain. It's like your kids don't gotta like you.
Nah, I'm sorry. I ain't
so-
living like that.
No,
them
stop.
little niggas gotta love.
No,
like
you
they
feel
better
that
think.
way, but that's
But
your
you gotta let
personal
him.
feeling.
You have to let him finish because the thing about fences is,
Bro,
you can't just.
You're a father. You're the only father in here. Do you want your daughter to like you? Yes or no?
But that's what you want.
That's my choice.
Does she have to? No.
Bro, I didn't say you have to. There's no one has to do anything.
But
I
that's
got-
what I said. If you're listening to what I said your kids don't have to like you.
Cool. And I immediately said
All right.
I want. I don't like if you
Yeah.
don't want. Who's waking up in the morning like I don't give a fuck if my kids don't like me, nigga. I don't need them niggas to like me, nigga.
That's a
I
fact.
die by myself. Fuck them little niggas.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is waking up like
Well,
that?
see, you took it to the point where I don't care if my kids like me. Fuck them little niggas. I don't think
Yeah, 'cause
any parent.
That's not how he treated them. You know,
he did not treat his son like that. He said, "I don't have."
twisted.
He said,
it was just certain times when the nigga said, "Yo, bro."
What
about
are you
to build this
doing?
fence. He was like, "Nah, man, I gotta go do football," and he already told his mom. His mom knew, but Troy didn't know. You know what I mean? So
There's
like I said,
there's
it's
many
a whole-
little
it's a
things
whole
of disrespect.
picture.
Like think about it
You
this
know what I'm
way:
saying?
we've
I
all
get that.
done this. Our pops tell us we can't do some shit,
And our moms
we
say
go
yeah.
run to our moms and be like, "Mom, can we go?" Our mom say yeah, and we be all happy as fuck. Then we be wondering why the next time we do some little shit, our pops get on our ass. Well, nigga, you disrespected him. You went behind his back when he told you he didn't want you doing something, and you ran to your mother to get the approval.
Yeah, you have to.
And
watch
you
the
gotta-
movie
so you
fence.
gotta really
It's really a whole.
You
know what I mean?
disrespected him in that manner, so
Bro.
you expect him to just let that ride?
Yo, word to Yeah, I was about to say. Like me going to a press. This is what I'm saying. This is the dumb shit that we gotta stop. Make it seem like this fucking whatever it is that is more important. This my father said this, so I can never do. I fuck practice. Fuck getting better at what I need to do to take care, so I don't have to ever build a fucking fence. What the fuck are we? Nigga, get some money and you'll be able, instead of making $62 some change a day, nigga. So, you could have built a relationship, a way better relationship with your son if you could probably never went to prison, nigga.
The man got out, right? Did everything he can. He's a garbage truck man.
Doesn't drive.
And he's becoming a driver. And look, he became a driver. He was the one at his company. He was the one at his company.
He was drinking. He was drinking throughout the whole movie, right? Is that alcohol?
Only on Friday.
Only on Fridays?
Literally.
Take it from a nigga who's started just drinking on the weekends. Only on Saturdays.
Well, that's you. But in the movie, even Rose says it, because he gives her all his money when he comes home. So he don't have none in his pocket. The only money he keeps is the $250 that he and Bono, his mans, every Friday, they split a bottle of gin for $5. She gives him $250 out of the cut every week. And like, here, go have
more
fun.
negative stereotypes.
And he go to his side bitch crib.
Manage their own bread.
No,
this nigga was getting busy with the shorty.
Yeah, like he's literally a little nigga. Like
it
the more you explain
bro.
it,
He would come home and gave her the money because Rose was better at keeping the home and spending the
more
money.
More negative bullshit stereotypes that niggas got to deal with.
How is that a negative stereotype? Somebody is better. That's balance. The person
men can't deal with their money. I know all the greatest men I know take care of their own pockets.
So I'm going to praise her in the area that she can
do something. That's what I'm saying. That's not a negative stereotype at all.
Well, it is not negative.
I'm telling you, bro, it is.
She's the homemaker.
He's at work.
She's the homemaker.
Sure things are bro. She's filling up the fridge.
She's going grocery shopping. She's the homemaker. She makes sure that.
I hate going to work and then coming home and figuring out what I gotta eat.
Or figuring out, oh damn, did the bills get paid? Now I gotta go sit on the phone.
Do you need to give your shorty a paycheck to make sure that's taken care of?
I have to give the mother of my child money every week when I get paid
to make sure you're fed.
No.
Thank you. That's all I'm saying.
My child is fed.
Yeah, that's totally different. Okay, that's a responsibility. Someone has to do that, and if you're not going to be there to do that,
that's what he's doing. He gives her the money. She does all the shopping. She cooks. She does everything during the week for the house. If he wants
she's at the house. The kids are out the house.
Hold up, you're agreeing with this whole because I know you're not doing this. This is not the truth. You're not giving away your whole 60. If you made $62 that week for the entire week, you're not giving her $62.
I only have 2 left.
You have a mind of your own. I don't think you've ever done that in any relationship you've been in.
I've watched that movie so many times, and I've put myself in every character.
Bro, that's not what I asked you.
I'm not.
That's not what I asked you.
You keep interrupting when people trying to talk just so you could say how you feel, but we're not trying to talk about how we feel. We're talking about what the movie is portraying when you look at it for what it is.
I see why he did it, and I put myself in his shoes. And yes, in that time, because one, I'm a man of little need, okay? Back in that day, a black man in America, you didn't have much space to do anything anyway.
The fact you
had to
space.
make sure your crib was paid for, you had food in the crib, and that was it. It was already extra that their son could play football. You know what I'm saying? The man drove as a garbage man truck, and all he could do is pick up the garbage. He couldn't drive until he was freaking 60 years old.
And
so you know what I mean?
He forced them to make him drive.
All that bread that he made really had to go to rent. So that $250 to us, it seems like it ain't nothing, but that's like what $75 of play money. So that's what weed, liquor, whatever you got to do.
That's what I'm saying. $250.
So you need to show you to budget all that for you.
Back in the day, if that was my lifestyle, yes, but today, no.
Bro, not even just back in the day.
I don't think anyone who's competent really needs anybody to I think it's just a conscious choice. Like I get that. Like maybe you're just so busy that you really don't have the time to sit on the phone and make sure the phone bills and like the light bills being taken care of.
Keep it all the way. I'm gonna keep it all the way funky. I'm gonna just interrupt you here because I don't want to hear any more nonsense. You manage your entire life by yourself? You got it all together?
No.
Okay, do you? No. Do you? No.
What the fuck are you talking about?
None of us manage our entire
life. Do you?
Nobody
Who else manages your life?
I said, do we manage our life and have it all
together? First he called me Troy Maxson. First he brought this bullshit up.
Yes, because you said I don't give a fuck about nothing. I'm just gonna say what I want to say, do what I want to do.
No, I actually give a fuck about people liking me. Unlike this weirdo nigga, I actually give a fuck and I provide, nigga. That's the difference. I don't need to be walking around here so because I'm
you literally walk around like that. And again, my point is, if you listen to what I asked, shut up and let me. Shut up and if you actually fucking listen,
like Troy,
bro,
that makes no sense.
Shut up. If you actually listen to the question I just asked, if you actually listen to the question I just asked, do you manage your life and have it all together,
nigga?
By yourself?
What?
You do not have it all together, bro. We have conversations all the time about shit not going right. We don't even have the pod all together. So there's no way that we have our lives all together.
So tell me,
we might manage it by ourselves, but we don't have it all together.
First
that was the question.
And said it was so, bro.
It was a two-part question
on my own,
bro.
So who else
Eric,
is helping me manage?
What did I just ask you? I said, do you manage your life by yourself and have it all together?
No.
Morgan, do you manage your life yourself and have it all together?
No.
Do you manage your life yourself and have it all together?
All right,
That was the question.
The second part.
I said it
well, fuck
4
you
times that way. You didn't fucking listen,
bro.
Shut up for once.
Stop
fucking yelling.
Fuck. No one has their life all together. Oh, show me a list of people who have their life all together, my nigga.
Okay, so then
because we're all on this consistent.
Stop.
Consistent path of consistently going trying to get something new, trying to do better.
Okay, wait. So you just said no one has life all together. So if you have a partner and someone who can manage some of the load and help do something for you, would you not give them that responsibility or allow them to take it should they want it?
Yeah, I would.
So why is it a problem that he was giving this woman the money? Because that's exactly what he was doing, allowing her to manage the thing that he did not want to manage.
He was a fucking garbage man. This nigga, that's not that crazy of a fucking work. What are we talking about here? The nigga was a whack-ass father because he was a garbage man and a drunk, and he came out of prison. I'm nothing like the nigga.
No.
Like, what are we talking about?
You're missing a little bit. You're missing a little bit because you have to remember the time. This is not 2022.
Oh my fucking God. This time shit. This time shit. You niggas gotta stop, bro. I was listen. You are who you were before you got here, my nigga. You was gonna act like this 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago. Only difference is the times are changing and there's different situations for you to react in. But the odds are a lot of these things fall in the same what's the word I'm looking for?
The odds are actually not in that favor if you want to look that up.
Because there's really not much new under the sun.
Like this right after we got free from
slavery. That's what I'm saying. The odds are actually not in that favor that things would have happened the same way. So I just want to be like.
I say time.
That's why you just the same, bro.
What did you just ask me? I didn't get to hear you.
Would you be in the same situation right after slavery?
Nigga, fuck yes. This person, yes. Because I can't speak on 50 fucking years because none of you niggas know what you would have been doing. So I'm gonna talk about me, who I am, and this soul. Fuck the year, whatever it is, the way I think. Mm-hmm. Put me 120 years ago. This shit. No, I would have looked at Troy like this nigga's annoying. Bro, this nigga's annoying.
I'm gonna just keep it all the way funky with you. You 120 years ago wouldn't have made it because they would have shot your black ass in the street for thinking that you was hot shit.
And I would have came back as a new nigga, you would have been ready to die again. That's my fucking vibe, nigga.
So you talk about would you have been? So the question is,
bro,
no. The question was, would you have been in this situation? And as much as you may feel how you want to feel, the reality is, you would not have. You can feel how you want. The reality is, if you acted the way you do now, right now, who you are today.
Another which one call? You got to press the. It's like one of the knobs. You have to press it.
If you did what
the one that says RGB. Mm-hmm.
If you did that today, not a question because of how the world was structured.
The one that says RGB.
They would have shot your black ass.
I'm not.
In the street.
If you scared of dying, that's.
And you would not have been in this situation because you would have died,
bro.
So the simple fact of
and
the
I would have
matter,
kept coming back, ready to die.
All right, bro. The simple fact of the matter is, as much as you may feel whatever, he asked you to answer the question: would you have been in this situation? You said, I feel like I would have, and we're trying to tell you the reality is that if you acted the way you do now, back then, bro, as a black man, you would not have survived long enough to get to this situation. So then the reality is, the answer to your question is, would you have been here?
Yes.
No, you would have been dead. They would have killed you. Like, you can feel it.
Yes, man.
I'm trying to find.
We not selling you. Thank you. Like, bro, that's really what it was. Like, I'm not trying to say that, like, you not a dude, like, you
I don't
not
know
a strong
what y'all,
person.
bro. I'm not worried.
Like,
I don't know what y'all talking about. Why death get like why me getting clapped, getting brought
because
up.
he asked
All
the
I
question,
was,
bro. Because
nigga,
he asked the question, would you be in this situation now, right after slavery? And you said,
you talk about this situation, trying to put some entertainment together. Hell yeah, that would have definitely been on there. Me, Billie Holiday, I would have probably got clapped just like Billie Holiday did.
R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. My nigga. Some of us niggas ready to die for what comes out of our mouths. Some niggas ain't.
Being ready to die doesn't answer the question.
Bro,
You literally didn't answer the question. You just told him how you feel. He asked you, would you be in this situation?
And I
You
said,
said,
yes.
yeah, because I'm gonna act exactly how I do today.
yes, because
and I'm telling you
I'm
that
a firm believer you were who you were before you got
right,
here.
and I'm telling you that justifiably, based on fact, fuck how you feel, that the world was not set up for you to act how you do today.
Cool.
So
And
if you would have
that's
done
why
that,
there's religions-
if you would have done that, the answer to your question, would you be in this situation, is no, because you would not have made it to get to that situation.
Bro, I guess. Listen.
No, it's not an I guess. That's
Troy,
a fact. Fuck.
listen, if I'm that stern and that mean of a friend to y'all, I don't know why y'all chilling with me, because this nigga Troy is a piece of shit.
Yeah, I ain't gonna.
This
That nigga
nigga
was a
Troy
piece of
was a
shit.
go. Y'all niggas is dick riding the wrong nigga.
He was a piece of shit.
Like, what the fuck?
I just feel
are
like
we
they just
talking
put
about?
context to why niggas had horrible fathers. Like, I understand. Niggas
Niggas
like,
had one
life
good
was hard,
monologue,
but
now all is
goddamn,
forgiven. This
nigga.
nigga, like,
I ain't gotta
Yeah, I
like
didn't
you.
even watch that.
Like, what the
Yeah, I didn't.
fuck?
When's the last time y'all watched the movie or read the book? Like, there's one other person
y'all
here.
gotta watch it.
There's
Bro,
one
I'ma
other
go-
person here
yo,
who actually
you
has
gotta
taken.
watch it, that's
When I
all.
brought up the
I haven't
character,
watched it. I
nobody
haven't
knew who
watched
it
it.
was. That's the first thing.
bro.
I haven't watched
That's
it in
something
years.
that we all should have. That's
But I
something that
definitely
we all
remember
should
it.
have known. Like, as
It's
a
not
black
that far off my
community,
memory.
as a black community, talking about, we want to talk about education
Yeah.
and knowing shit and understanding shit, just like the conversation I walked into when I
dropped
first
the
came in
band.
here. We want to talk about anything like that, our education.
We're
That's
getting
something
down.
as a black community we should have known, because that's a piece of black history, black literature,
Yep.
especially. That's something we all should have known, but we didn't. One person knew that. Then, when everybody else started to get the recollective facts, only one other person here has truly seen or watched the movie or play more than once, or in recent times where they can remember the small details. Because the point that that movie is trying to make is not that Troy was not a bad father. They were not trying to say he was not a bad father.
Bro, you trying to say
They
I'm a
were not
bad
trying to
dad?
say-
This
they
is
were
what
not
the only,
trying to
the
say
only
he
reason
was
why
a
I've been
good
talking about this thing for
father.
like the last 35 minutes because you called me Troy Maxson.
Yes, because of how you were speaking and how you were acting. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. I'm gonna say what I want to say. I'm gonna do what I want to do. If you actually watch the fucking movie or watch the play or read the
I think
book,
I'm more like Corey.
no, you're not.
I'm chasing a dream. Fuck what Daddy talking about. This nigga's a bitch. It's
Right.
that simple. Fuck what Troy talking about, nigga. I gotta play ball, nigga. I'm trying to get up. Fuck this nigga and his whack ass dream.
He went to the
He went to the military.
Well, which one of them was
facts.
trying to play baseball?
They weren't trying to play. See, bro, he's trying to play football, bro. It's
football.
too much. to
Whatever,
explain.
bro. God damn. Like, I keep saying ball, and you niggas like, oh, ain't nobody trying to play
Who got
ball.
my
Ball. It was a square. It was a square
Get my
object.
lighter.
The fuck?
Nah, he was trying to play football.
He was
Got
trying to
my
play
lighter.
cricket.
Get my lighter.
He was nice.
How you get this shit?
Y'all niggas is thieving. I can't let y'all niggas have it.
Damn, nah. Not like that nigga Troy, bro. That nigga's
Nah, still a great movie.
Bro, I'm
Great
just
hater
play.
dads out
Very
there.
good.
It has
Book.
nothing to do
Extremely
with,
good
like,
book.
you're looking at it as a hater dad. At the end of the day, Troy is a man. He's a human being. And
He's a fictional character.
But bro, it's
Like, nah,
he's a person. He's written to be a person.
I didn't like
So-
the wife because you know what I
She
mean?
was.
She wasn't freaky.
Nah, my son
Yo,
definitely was going up
hold
the
up.
block for it though.
Yo, cheating piece of shit, an abusive nigga, also
That
wasn't abusive.
If at all.
mentally. That's mentally abusive, mentally and emotionally abusive.
They communicated, so she was willing to
honestly,
work
and
on
first
it.
off,
That's
and
abusive
and
to
let's
his
be
son.
clear. Let's be clear. The reason and that, like, you saying it's abusive because you don't have the context of watching it when it happened. Because every time when he talked to Corey sternly, Corey had done something either disrespectful or something that was wrong.
Now I
You're not
definitely
gonna
remember
get a
at one point there was a
positive-
point in the book he did some shit. I forgot.
He walked up to him and was like, "You just a hater. You don't want me to be like you." He was like, "Listen, boy," and he was like, "Listen." It has, and he's straight. No, and
Nah,
he
he
straight
didn't
told
know that
no.
shit.
So he was like,
He
"It got nothing to do
he was
with
like, "Yo,
hate."
listen, it got nothing to do with hate. I told you could play ball, but you was supposed to keep the fucking job."
That's a
You ain't
fact.
keep the job. You gave up the
At the
job.
supermarket.
You gave up the job that was paying you consistently, giving you a chance to put money in your pocket. Because I pay for everything you do, so you could have saved every dollar. I pay for everything.
So he
you
mad
do.
he ain't get to save $1.
No.
He's not being a
He's not-
responsible man.
He's not being a responsible.
How old
man.
was this? We gotta.
He was about to be 18, and back in the day,
That's
bro,
what I mean.
and that's all it took.
Yo, that's
back
it.
in
Gotta
the
go
day,
to
you was
college.
out the crib at
No, but
18,
that's
nigga.
what I'm saying. That's
Troy
it.
left the crib at 14.
He's finished.
Yo, I'm
He's
trying to tell you,
finished
man.
after that. You have to watch the movie. It's like you
He was trying to teach his son to be a man.
You playing around.
He
Then
still
what's
was
about to
shitty
happen
dad.
to you, bro? I'm getting old. He
I'm about
tells
to-
him.
he's
He's like,
not-
yo, I'm on the back of the garbage truck.
I'm about to be done.
And you're not going to work trying to play football.
I get you want to play football, fine. You can play football,
But
but
what
you
about-
got to keep the fucking job.
Yeah. Now what if the job's getting away in football?
Yeah, that's what happened.
Well,
I
guess
think he
what?
had a practice or some shit. He
That's
didn't
what
go to
started
work.
happening.
What happened in the
That's what
movie,
started
right?
And
happening.
then he chose football.
over the job. So now, here's what. But now look.
My dream.
No, but listen.
What?
Wait. You just said.
Yo, did he get hurt or what
I'm paying
happened?
for every
What-
goddamn thing.
he
nigga.
lost the recruiter. The
Yeah,
recruiter didn't
he
come.
lost a recruiter. Nothing. The thing that Troy was saying, and when I say with Tom, nothing is for sure in this white man's world. They
Yeah.
can take it away. You can be as good. I see that you out here. It takes 15 people to tackle you, but you know what? If that white man don't want you to succeed, what's about to happen?
Nigga, you better shucking jobs till you get that contract. I don't know what the
don't
fuck
ma-
you
bro,
talking
it's
about.
especially, bro.
These niggas, you better turn to
Bro,
Herschel
even-
Walker,
bro,
nigga.
Stop. Even now,
listen.
You better start
Even
loving
now-
white
Yo,
people.
look, as a
listen,
parent,
even
Especially
now-
back then, nigga.
No, even now, the black players in the league, as much as it is run, every single sports league in America, aside for the MLS and hockey, is run predominantly by the black community. All right, we run, jump, and do everything a little bit better physically because we're just bigger physically, so it gives us a little bit more muscle mass to do things. That's just science. Even now,
Some big
them
ones.
white niggas own the teams we play for. If they don't want to
'cause
pay us,
money is money.
No, stop. If they don't want you to play, look at Colin Kaepernick. That nigga could play football. He could play football. Bro, Colin was not a
49
bad
is up,
quarterback
man.
when he was in the league by any stretch of the word.
outta here.
He was not a bad quarterback. There were not 32 guys better than Cap. There are not 32
Were there 10 guys better than Cap?
Feels like
10, yeah.
Were there 12 guys better than Cap?
Yeah.
Even
I'll
if
say
there's
what he
32
was.
teams.
He was
No,
top
no,
20.
he was
a good
elite.
quarterback.
Like,
Bro, there's
one, at the same
32
time, like,
teams. He
took him to the
don't
Super
sleep
Bowl in his
on-
third
don't
year.
sleep on
Wait,
him.
hold up. If he's not even top, wait, hold up. If
There's
he's not
32
top
teams.
12,
He's in the top
and there's
half.
32.
He's in the top 16.
So being half makes you elite still. So if you're in the
half the
top
teams
Yeah.
teams make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Half the teams in the league make
In
the playoffs,
football?
which now gives you a chance to win a championship. The Giants
you
have
said
won.
half the team make the playoffs.
Half the teams in the league
Yeah,
make
half
the
team
playoffs.
make the playoffs.
So there's 16.
There's 32 teams and 16 teams going to the playoffs total.
Oh yeah, 'cause- yeah.
And then it comes to, and then at the end of it,
Yeah.
at the end of it, one team wins. You can be 8-3 or 9-6 or whatever, 10-6 like the Giants have been.
8-3, like you said, yeah, 8-6. You could be-
8-6.
yo, you
The
could be
Giants have won
8-6.
2 Super Bowls,
I think that's how
being
they
the
went to the
wild
playoffs
card
last
team,
year.
which means
Or the
they
year
weren't
before.
even in the top 16 initially. They were like number 17, 18,
Yeah.
and they got a shot to play number 16 in a game.
Biggest thing is football
And then-
is it don't matter what you do in the regular season.
You have
if
to
you
make it to the
playoffs, man, it's fair
That
game
wild
because
card.
one,
You just got to win one game
You gotta
every
win one.
week.
You just gotta-
and they planning for
Yeah, that's
someone
the
they
thing with
never
football. It's
played
really
every
one and
week.
done.
yeah. At the end of the day,
So
you have to be better than just the quarterback you're playing.
So the point being, there's not 32 guys better than Cap. Even now, I think there's
Still
not
now, he
32
could be in the
be-
league.
There's
Hell
not
yeah.
32 guys better than Cam Newton right now. Give Cam Newton a year in a system.
Exactly.
Let him actually
Isn't-
learn how to.
Is he back on the Panthers?
No.
Nah.
No,
They got
They got rid of him after a year. They
They
brought him
lose
back
the
for the rest of his
fucking goal.
contract, and then they benched him after 2 games.
and now who the Panthers have?
They got fucking Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, and Sam Darnold.
White man.
and Sam Darnold.
White man.
And Cam, I'll take
Yo, you
Cam
know how many
Newton
black
over both of
quarterbacks there are in the NFL?
I'll
7.
Yeah, I'll
That
take-
start 7.
Damn.
Yeah,
There's
The white
32
man's
teams.
position.
And every other position on the field got at least 3 to 4 black people starting per team.
Before full string white man.
Wide receiver, tight end, lineman. There's at least 2 to 3 of y'all niggas at every position that start per team.
yo, who the Buccaneers just got?
Julio.
That's crazy, son.
Sick.
Mr. Jones.
But not 32 guys better.
Yeah, nah.
If the white man don't want you to succeed, even now,
I give Cam
Cam is one of the
9.
most black quarterbacks you can have. And I mean that in the sense of what he brings to culture. He is
Culture-wise.
loud. He is abrasive. He is
gonna-
proudly a black
Eccentric.
man.
Very
he has
eccentric.
dreads. No, but he is abrasive.
Loud
Like
and abrasive are
he
not
knows, but he
black
does that.
traits.
No, he does
That's
that.
OD.
He has that presence.
Chill the fuck
he has,
out.
No.
He is a loud and abrasive person, but
I'm
those are
not
not
saying
black
that it's a black.
traits.
No, but we have loud and abrasive personalities
Yeah.
because we are full of passion. It's not a bad thing. Those things have negative stereotypes because of white people, and that's why I say words have meaning. Just because someone puts a negative connotation on it doesn't mean that that's what it means.
You won't see Cam Newton in the Giant jersey.
All right,
for the
hold up.
culture.
I got a great football. I got a great question that involves a football player. Since this is we spent so much time on it, you rather have Troy Maxson as your father, or Tom Brady as your father. And to take away Tom Brady's skill and accolades, you want the nigga kissing you on your
Yeah, I was
mouth?
about to say, are we taking away
I'd
the
rather
kissing the
have Troy
kids on the
Maxson.
lips too? I ain't gonna front Troy.
because honestly, I don't
can
know
live
what
with Troy.
I don't know what Tom has
All I
taught
need
his
is a
son.
minute.
Like, all I know about
I'm definitely living with Troy.
Yo,
taking Troy
bro.
Maxson.
Listen, I've had a Troy
Seen
Maxson.
that video of Tom kissing his kid.
It's not
bro.
even about that. It's like I don't
a
know what
couple.
Tom teaches his son. Like,
Yeah, I don't know nothing about him.
I don't know
hear
nothing
no
about-
good things about him.
like,
being
I don't
a
know
father.
nothing about him
He's
as
a
a
great football player.
Yeah, no, realistically, what do you know about Tom teaching? Like, you hear about Jack going
That's
to
good
football
enough.
games.
The fact that you don't hear nothing lets you know. That's
Like, he
something.
takes Jack to football games with him every now and again, but he's gone for half the year.
and
every year.
he let him put Cam Newton as a starting quarterback.
Bro, he's gone for half the year every
When
year.
I see Cam Newton, I see his kids.
Everywhere he goes, Cam has his kids with him.
That's a fact. I'm not gonna lie.
Everywhere.
They've been in the
Practice
press
facility.
conference, goofing around.
When I see Steph Curry, I see
he
his
don't got
kids.
no Super Bowl ring. That's the only time you see Tom Brady Super Bowl kids. He probably won them with the
Who's that?
rings.
Your front door.
Yeah. Oh, that's you.
I see Steph Curry. I see his kids.
Dang, that's how you know you live in the trap when someone like walk through the door. It's like, who the fuck?
Yeah,
Damn,
you
don't
just
even
go
know who it
through.
is.
Just watch-
Yeah, you good.
Yeah, you good.
Don't worry. Why you do the little skip? You just made it.
Don't cut that out.
Yeah, the skip is the funniest part. But like, really think about it. Like, I don't know anything about Tom as a man,
Yo, the fact
other
that
than the
he's
fact
wi-
that he's a good football player.
And the
That's
fact
what
that
I
he's
mean.
willing to kiss his son on the mouth.
Like,
Listen,
as
That's
Troy-
passion. That's some type of
Yo,
passion.
look,
That is a
Troy-
lot of passion
Troy as
right
a
there.
man.
Like Lil Wayne kissing Birdman.
And look what Birdman done for Lil Wayne.
So Birdman or Tom Brady?
Birdman or Tom Brady.
taking Tom Brady because at least Tom Brady not gonna steal my money for half my career.
Whoa. Hold up.
Ooh, you
I
kissing
did-
both
I
of them
did-
on the lips though,
yeah,
regardless.
I'm
I
saying
did-
you're getting kissed on the lips either way.
No, they're both
Yeah.
on the lips.
Hey,
That's
hold
what I'm
up.
saying. So you getting kissed on the lips
We
either
know
way. I'm
Bird-
not
wait,
getting
hold-
robbed.
hold
on top
up,
of
bro.
kissed on the lips.
Lil Wayne
hold
called
up.
Birdman his father. You see how Birdman treated Lil Wayne. So
And Birdman, hold up. Birdman did standard business.
No.
Standard business.
No.
Standard 360.
Rick
standard
Ross got a
business.
song about how bad Birdman did Lil Wayne.
And 3 weeks later, Lil Wayne was in the club with his daddy.
Facts.
There
Have
is-
Rick Ross
there
looking
is
stupid. I ain't gonna lie.
There
What are
is
you talking
multiple
about?
lawsuits, articles, and things written
Yo,
about the contract that
you
man
right.
gave Wayne.
Whoa. Hold up.
Bro, there's literal like it's
They settled on whatever they
because
settled.
he did. They settled, but he was still getting robbed.
That doesn't
For
mean he
all
was
these
getting,
years.
Hold on, that doesn't
so you
mean
was
he was
getting
getting
robbed and sodomized. And
Whoa, hold up. Now I'm saying, hold on. Now I'm the one saying
sodomy is
anything.
anything going in your mouth, any type of sex of the mouth.
I know. Wait, hold on. Let's do a deep. Let's do a deep
That
dive.
is any type.
In the sodomy.
So if you
I'd
get
rather
if you
not.
give top, you can technically you would go to hell by like Catholic standards because that is considered sodomy.
Yeah.
Sodomy
I
is
forgot
anything,
how to spell that
anything
shit.
Somebody has to
entering
be
your
doing that.
body other than
Things.
the vagina. That is the term sodomy. Words have meaning. They mean things. It's not just when something goes up your ass.
The
It is
crime of oral or anal sex.
sex.
Yeah.
Anything entering your
sexual
body that is
contact
not
or
vaginal.
penetration. Yeah.
So you technically by doing
if
that.
you rate, oh my
So
god.
you could go, and even if you get top, so you could do everything perfect in life, but you don't get to the pearly gates, and he's like, "Yo, I see you got sloppy toppy a couple times. One too many.
Yo.
It's cliff for you. You got to go down
Yeah,
there."
I ain't
my
gonna
boy."
lie.
Yo, who Xbox Live Tag back in the day used to be I sodomized you?
His.
Yo, I'm like, hold up. Niggas was wilding back there. This nigga's a nut. Oh.
Hold up. Why are you trying to throw me under the bus?
Nah, because I'm like, hold up.
No. I provide you so many opportunities.
Nah, it don't matter.
Oh, you talking about the opportunity? Hold on, wait. Now you sound like Troy Maxson. Why you trying to do that to me? I gave you so many opportunities. I provide you so much, and you out here acting like this.
No.
Let's go.
No. I don't provide. I give him opportunity.
That's what Troy was trying to tell
No, he doesn't.
Corey.
He was feeding a nigga.
No, he said, "I'll give you opportunity." That was the whole point.
Here we go.
He on his Troy, his Birdman,
He was bullshit, boy.
Bucket
Troy, his Lions, on his Corey. What's the son name?
Just
He's
call
trying
me.
to be everybody in the book, and that's why he got so many issues.
I'm Troy Man. Fuck it. Call me Troy Man from now on.
This nigga, son.
This man is going through it.
Yo, boy, you putting everyone's business out there,
I do so much for niggas, and you see what they do? Yo, that's crazy. Throw me under the bus. Niggas just straight throw me under the bus. That's crazy.
I ain't going front. You ain't have to claim it, my brother. Oh, yeah. Keys called you out. I ain't going front.
He snitched.
I just told the truth.
Yeah, you told the truth.
He snitched.
I ain't going front regardless.
I'm not even mad. He dressed just like Charleston White right now, too. That's exactly why I'm not even mad. Like, if Charleston was fly and light skinned, that's what it'd be. He'd be dressing just like you, talking about lock niggas up. Words have meaning.
Bro, words have meanings, bro.
You niggas need to go under the jail. I feel you.
I didn't say nothing about that.
Matata. Words have meaning.
Family.
What a wonderful phrase.
Words have meaning, bro.
Nah, yo, I ain't gonna lie. You gonna have some merch one day. And words have meaning. Definitely you gotta get sweatpants in the hoodie, like the whole.
Like, bro, I hate the fact that you can't
pants.
have like an actual like intellectual conversation with most people because they don't know what words mean. They take the connotation of what other people have stigmatized the word to be, and they run with it.
Oh,
like,
yo,
words have a definition. So that's what I'm saying. Like,
No,
even
know.
to
Yo,
the point, like,
the thing is,
you could hear something and run with it. Like our conversation earlier, I was trying to say when it started. You could hear something and run with it, but like if you don't actually go fact check it against some like reputable sources, you just you spreading more the nuisance, and that's why.
You're right. What I was gonna say is which one call it because I never even got to bring it up. But you were right and wrong. I was more right, but you were still right too. Now the thing is, when they do literacy rate over time and all these other things, they do it based on reading like efficiency, graduation rates, things like that, and the ability to read at said level that you're at. Now, for our children in the United States, you're right, bro. The kids are killing it, but once them kids get out of school, they get dumb, nigga. And this is where I was talking about. So. The what you were right about is people are graduating more from school. People are also what was it? Based on the statistics, which one call it? It's dropped almost 10% in comparative to the 90s, where 73% of children in the 4th grade and in the 8th grade did not read at their level. Today, it's somewhere in 2022. It's somewhere in the low 60s.
All right, so I want to touch on that point really quick. I'm gonna let you finish, but you do understand that 50, 60 years ago we were coming out of a point of slavery, so now they're integrating all of these kids.
A little bit longer, but yeah, I know what you're saying. Like, segregation. Well, segregation still counts.
Slavery, like we're coming out of that wave of time. So also, there's uneducated people now filtered into the populace of people that were educated. So that aggregate is drastically going to fall. It's just like how they look at like money in America. The top end makes so much that it fucks up the median when they do the average because they make so much, it skews the rest of the numbers because it's abnormal. Yeah. So like there were so many people, think about it, they counted us as 3/5 of a person for a reason. They did not want to be outnumbered. When you really sit and think about it, 3/5 of a person, if they would have did 1-to-1, think about what that would have meant. Because even at 3/5, you had some like sway. You could make some type of impact.
We did. We literally
3/5.
At 3/5, we were actually like we went from being completely thrown out of voting to once they allowed black men to vote, it really became a thing where even still to this day, pandering to black voters became like, yo, this is still a lot of these. And these niggas, when we were coming up, we went from being what? I think it was somewhere around 8% of the population or 7% of the population basically right out of slavery. And then like in less than 60 years became, I think, 10 to almost 11%. We're now sitting at like 13.
Yeah.
But we've been at 13 since for the last 60.
But yeah, the point being, like, there was such a big mass of people getting aggregated into this now group of public students and graduating class and all of that, that when you really start to factor in the numbers, the reason that it's like you see a steep drop from like one point to another point is because you had to wait for everyone else to catch up. Like, think about what in our communities is stress. Like, we live in a very integrated community, and it's honestly a minority-run community. We have more
Spanish people,
Hispanic,
and
black here in our town, and people of other races than we do of just predominantly white people.
Yeah, but white people
our
still,
town specifically,
but white people is still the majority. It's still that when you look at like they're like, I think like somewhere around like almost like over 40% of the entire population of Freeport.
But that's still
black
loose.
people and Spanish people
and
are
everybody
basically
else.
the whole other 60%.
60%. That's what I'm saying.
And the thing is, it's weird because I don't know how to feel sometimes about this. Like, they have joint politics. So back in the days, it used to be black rights, and then a few years after, it became people of color, like colored people rights. So now it's like Spanish people and black people, especially in this community, our fight becomes a fight together. You get what I'm saying? Because it's like we damn near live in all the same places.
Exactly. So
and we
now
all
look at
have
it.
like, so whenever somebody's block isn't paved properly or the mail is looking fucked, whatever the situation is, that's a problem that we have to come together and fix.
But now you think about that in terms of education. When we grow up and we go to schools, the students and the teachers all kind of have this inkling to help the weakest link. Have you noticed that? Mm-hmm. Like, there was never a time in school where like the real dumbest kid in your class was pointed out. If you was the second dumbest kid, we make fun of you. But if you was the actual dumbest kid in your class, we was more trying to help you and make sure you made it through.
If you were cool.
Not in my school.
Yeah, I was about to say, if you were cool.
I'm talking
'Cause I
at
knew
least
some
in our
dumb
school.
niggas, I was just like, that ain't
Our school. Now, if you was weird or you was socially awkward, that's a different conversation. We're talking about the average individual. You know what I'm saying? Just like the regular kid.
Because I know what you mean. We have dumb homies.
We have some real dumb homies.
We do.
What?
I looked at him.
No.
I just looked at him.
And
I looked at Morgan. We
he
just
knows
all-
the
It was a sense of
It was just
validation.
like a chain effect. We always kind of look down to see if somebody's gonna say a name.
Yeah,
It was like, it's some validation. It was like a validation train. Like,
if it was one more person, they would have dropped the name.
facts. Because I definitely would turn my head too.
Yeah, so it's like we was all trying to see who was gonna drop the name. I think that's what it is. So we all kind of understood that. But like, even like me, like we had some dumb friends, and like even then we had kids who were dumber than them.
Oh yeah.
And like in class, I could
Always.
specifically remember if you was really the weakest link in our classroom, and you spoke to people, we was trying to help you make it through.
God damn it.
Like realistically, we was trying to help you make it through. We didn't want to see you fail.
Yeah.
That's a
Like,
fact.
we'll
We'll cut your ass in the moment, probably. Like, niggas
But
that
we
can't
didn't.
read, niggas was on their ass. I ain't
Niggas
gonna
that
front.
can't read is such a hilarious
Yeah,
statement.
but we
I ain't
wasn't
gonna
trying to-
lie.
but we didn't
That
wanna see you
shit be
fail, bro.
crazy. Oh, I'll be right back. I'll check your camera.
Like we didn't want to see you fail. We didn't want to see your life go down to shit. Like
Yeah,
we
that's
didn't
a
want
fact.
you not graduating.
If you had some
class,
some
like,
type of group of friends, you was definitely trying. Like, they
You know what I'm
was
saying?
trying
Like,
to
we
hold it
wanted
down.
to see you walk across that stage with us. Just because of like the way our community was bred. And that came from our teachers, not from just us. Our teachers made it in such a way where they would look at the problem kids more than the kids who knew what they were doing. We all been there before. If you was just a quiet kid and you did your work and wasn't failing, your teacher didn't give a fuck about you.
Yeah.
But that motherfucker that was always talking his ass off, yelling, screaming, or the
He was
show
on-
off in class who
He
knew
was on his ass.
everything. The show off in class who knew everything got attention for two reasons. One, because the teacher would use them to help the other kids, and it made their job easier. Because if they understand the material, hearing a kid say it makes other kids understand it a little bit better sometimes. So the teachers would use those kids to help them. And then they would take the bad kids and focus on them because they didn't want to see you fail. That's at least in our communities. That's how they were designed. Because
Yeah,
we're
that's a
in
fact.
minority fed
You was at an age of
and that comes
influence,
from
too.
society forcing us to catch up.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, like there's a lot of things that I have a problem with in America, and I think that we need to fix, like at a structural level, because the country wasn't built for integration. The country wasn't built for long-term sustainability either. Like if you
this
really
nigga
wanted
been chilling with the Israelites recently.
like, if you want
Hold
to talk
up now,
about
Chilling with the
preach.
moles.
if you want to talk about like the real problems
Yeah,
in
the hat
America,
under the hat. if you had the Moore hat under the hat right now, I swear to God,
Yo, that shit is low, because that shit low key can fit under the fitted right now.
fit under the fitted.
the point being is like the
Koofy
country
under
was
there, you crazy?
the country wasn't designed for integration or long-term sustainability. Like when we look at all the other places that have like such big land masses, they were conquered over hundreds or thousands of years. Like they were at war with empires and had different empires come and go. And then this land was divided up or held together based on the ideals that were instilled in each individual grouping of people. And like something big that like I use as a like marking point is soccer. If you look at soccer in the Europe, the reason that every single place has a team like that is because at one point they were all their own kingdoms.
Yeah.
They were all their own place. They were a separate country that existed.
Yeah, Manchester
that had their
United,
own,
Manchester City.
Like, you got what I'm saying? They were their own
Liverpool.
community of
That's a
people,
fact.
separate from the people that were literally 2 miles away down the road.
Yeah.
So because of that, they all have this crest that was the representation of their city
Yeah.
over the course of years. Yes, they've been redesigned, but at the base level, that's what they represent. So when you go to England, someone's from Manchester before they're from England. Someone's from Birmingham before they're from England. Someone's from Barcelona before they're from Spain. Like the city you're from, because it was its own kingdom, holds a weight in your community that creates a breeding ground. But now when you think about the country that you occupy, you were assimilated into this country by some great overpowering force over thousands and thousands of years. You were forced to
Yeah,
assimilate.
you gotta shit him right. By the
So
way.
y'all were forced to assimilate. So now that you have this, you can still exist. Like these communities exist separate from each other still today. Like it's a different vibe going from Venice to Florence in Italy,
Yeah,
or
facts.
Barcelona to Madrid.
And some of them, they speak different dialect.
A completely different vibe in every city. Even though it's the same country, every place is essentially its own little entity still. And America isn't designed that way. We took 13 colonies, usurping itself from a bigger assimilative force, and then just decided we want all the space that we can acquire from here to here. In over 200 years, we took it all.
Facts. Make
Oh.
it happen.
All of it. The country is then set up. Already we not set up in the first place. We still trying to get our sea legs. Like every country in the world, except for like Dubai and a couple of like small ones like that, is older than us. Every major power is older than us. If that's the way to put it. Like we're a major power, yes.
No, I
we,
get what you're saying.
we punch up. But everyone's older than us. Them being older than us allows them experience. Period. And that experience has allowed their countries to work in certain ways. And I'm not saying
not
they all got
France.
it worked out either.
Keep getting their ass kicked.
I'm not saying they all got it worked out either, but the culture of those places
Yeah,
is
solid.
designed completely different from that of America, where we don't even really have like a singular culture other than move, work, get shit done.
American dream. That's the American culture.
That's our culture. Move, work, get shit done.
That shit's
Like,
weird.
but if you
And
go
they try
to
to
somewhere like-
give us these weird like culture, like
It's
they try to build
ultimatums.
culture through like these holidays, kind of like Thanksgiving and all these other things like that. But
They don't
even though
work.
exactly, they just
Because
don't
people
work.
still have to go out and actually do a job and miss the time with their families, or they eat the meal and then they're right back to work, because that break isn't actually lasting. There's no culture around that.
Yeah. That's a
fact.
And like the culture you tried to create, when you sit and look at the history about it, it's
It
like,
just fails.
It just, when you look at the history of said culture, it's really just abuse or conquering. And that's a lot of culture across the globe, but it's different because of the course of time that we've all spent dealing with it. Like Italy has the Vatican. Like no matter what, Catholicism is going to be rooted
and
into Italy
that's a fact.
because the Vatican resides there. So something like gay rights, while they may want to be okay with it, personally,
That's not allowed there?
culturally,
That shit no
it will
bueno.
never be as accepted
As it would be over
as
there.
it would be over here or anywhere
That's true.
else because
Y'all sure about
Catholicism is rooted in
Yeah, I
the
know.
country.
I know
Sure,
this stuff.
gay marriage isn't legal in Italy?
It could be, but I'm saying that
Where
the
is? I
cultural
wonder.
acceptance of it.
Bro, you got to think about it. They
Look
not,
it up. I'm pretty sure it's not.
Like
I'm pretty
Rome
sure
and
it's
all
not,
that
bro.
stuff. There's a lot of gay shit that came out of
Bro,
Europe.
Yes.
That's a
Europe
fact.
and Italy are like Europe is a big entire space
No,
made
no,
up of multiple
you're
countries.
right.
Italy is
but
one
like,
place.
Italy is like when you speak of like Europe and ancient
Okay,
history, it's like
where's
the
Vatican
epicenter.
specifically located again?
You said
I don't wanna
what?
The Vatican specifically located in what?
Well, technically it's its own place. So the Vatican is the Vatican.
No, but the Vatican is located in
In one of the major cities, I believe.
Vatican City is in Rome. Yeah. Okay. So in Rome, where the Roman Catholic Church exists, it's going to be very hard for gay rights to be a thing because of the culture built into the community over the thousands of years of the church's integration into that community. Does that make, you get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like they might socially want to be more accepting, but culturally the design of the country is that of Catholicism. Catholicism is not accepting of gay marriage.
Yeah, I guess you're kind of right. Well, I mean, we're all gay marriage is kind of like still like a new thing, like because
But culturally it's more acceptable
everywhere
here.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can say that. Like, all right, so look, let's see where it
It
is.
definitely is. It's on our TV. It's in our
You have more
entertainment.
of a fight for it
No,
to
I know what
be
you mean.
a thing and something that's accepted and not stigmatized
So,
here.
like, I think what
than you would ever have.
we
at
recognize
the
that same-sex unions are legal in what, like 2013?
Yeah, and a lot of states.
They did this 2016.
Yeah, but you got to look at it like even still, the amount of cultural acceptance for gay rights it continues to grow here every day.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to grow at the same rate in somewhere where the Roman Catholic Church's views and ideals are constantly ingrained in the community. It's going to take longer. It's going to be harder.
And they have a
Because
different style of government too.
over
so
the
it's like
over the course
civil
of this,
rights and all these other
That's what I was
things are
gonna say. I feel like it's
completely
more so
different.
because of the government.
I hear you.
and
You.
our
I hear what you're saying. You preaching. I hear
it's
you.
a
Get
cultural
up.
thing though. The
And now you're not
government
wrong.
and the cultural structure.
You know what I learned. And it's definitely.
Come on.
Yeah. you got
Every
to.
time you walk out, you always like I always catch you. You got this look in your eye like mad like.
Don't worry, I'm not interrupting.
Nah, you good. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
you
bro.
got. What you gonna call it? I was gonna say fucking fuck. Oh, that you're right. That even though gay marriage, like this has to be acknowledged. Even though gay marriage is legal in America, there's still places in America where like towns won't like acknowledge it. They'll just won't sign your paperwork. They'll just be like, I don't give a fuck. Like, this ain't the eyes of God. You better take this shit down the street.
New York they won't accept you.
Yeah, well, I can. Hold on.
Predominantly Catholic
Whoa.
Marriage.
I understand a church deny because that's a church's that they have a right to
But they're
do
usually Catholic church, and that just goes to the point. The Catholic Church.
that. I know some black churches too. Yeah, you gotta understand. It's a lot
But
of.
what do black people?
And look, some of these listen, them niggas will take your money, and then as soon as they get out the room, they like some
Alright,
gay
so look, I
shit
just
going
wanna-
on down there.
So look, I heard
Yeah.
a point earlier that
They
made
need
a
the
lot of
bread.
sense. I heard a point earlier. I was watching like right before I got here. A man named Thomas Sowell, somebody was explaining his point. So I believe this is Thomas Sowell's opinion on the matter, and I thought that it was kind of accurate. The people that have the most in common with like the group of former slaves in the South are rednecks. And I'm going to explain this in the same perspective that he did as best as possible. When slavery ended, the people around in the South, predominantly where there were most slaves, like, especially, are going to be surrounded by who? The grouping of people that they now were enslaved by, but those people are rednecks. They're hillbillies. Hillbillies hate education. and they love Jesus.
Let's be specific, because when you talk about this cult, like the hillbilly culture, they are not like there's Southerners and
So that's
styles
what I'm
like
saying,
that. But that culture is not even just about the South. It's more so a lifestyle. But there was educated Southerners. Those hillbillies wouldn't have the money to have a plantation
trying to
and
say.
things
The
like that.
rednecks-
They would be the guy on the horse. You get what I'm saying? Like, do they policing the fucking
But you gotta
field and
think
stuff
about
like
it.
that?
The black people that are now former slaves
Mm-hmm.
aren't going to be around the dude riding the horse.
Yeah.
They're going to be around the dude that might have to take their old job of picking cotton as a white man who was just poor himself and can't afford a plantation or can't afford all these things you're talking about. So these are the uneducated rednecks we speak of. They don't like education to begin with because of how
So
they're
they don't like
raised in
education.
their communities. They're so used to living on the land and living off the land and trying to
just believe in
survive
God and government.
and whatever. They have their own forms of government and regulations. So they don't believe in education the same way. And then they love Jesus. They love church. They go to church every Sunday. They sit at the body. They have their ceremony. They love God. What do the black Southerners of today have something that's so common between them? They hate education.
Oh no, I've been trying to write this joke and write
and
these
they
premises for a while.
love Jesus. Like the Baptist
Poor
church,
black people and
The
and poor
Baptist
white
church.
people are the same person.
like
They're
Baptist,
literally the same
Baptist
person.
church is literally just high-end Catholicism.
Yeah.
With some money
With a good
invested,
suit. It's
Yeah, with a good
money
suit and a nice
invested,
little
and some
pulpit,
shiny
little
heat
get
slapped on the
down.
outside.
It
Tell
is
me I'm
literally,
wrong.
bro. He's not lying, because my church, which was a Baptist church, had got it was in a old cathedral, basically.
It's literally just Catholicism with a new coat of paint and some jazzier songs and music,
Yeah.
so that we can enjoy it.
Yeah, and
That's a
look,
fact.
Yeah, literally it's literally the same
Because
thing.
they read the same Catholic
The
Bible.
only no they don't. The only difference is the separation of is where the whole like the Luther thing and like Protestant
Yeah.
the Protestant situation. It's a they get more of their preaching and their knowledge from the Protestants than they do the Catholics.
Yeah.
But the culture, the attire, the service, though, like
Well, if we
Worshiping idols is different too.
yeah, that's
If
the
we-
thing.
if we
There's
gonna
no they don't do any
gonna be-
idolizing of man. Yeah, there's no idolizing of man.
Catholicism was the base for all Christian religions. So Christianity, as we know, is Seventh-day Adventist, Lutheran,
Yeah.
all of that shit.
Yeah.
It's literally just paganism and Catholicism combined. Because each of them. So the thing is that at a point in time, paganism was the thing, and that Catholicism was
Yeah.
trying to make a push.
That was the battle of religion.
So that was the real first thing that happened.
And it's weird
so
because
in order for
there's-
Catholicism to make a swing,
Before you go
they
any
started
further-
to integrate pagan traditions.
I don't like the like you see how you can go like this is a Catholic church, this is a Seventh Adventist, this is a Muslim
It's all
mosque.
it's all Christianity. It's all
No,
Catholicism.
hold up. What I was gonna say is like people don't explain, or at least when we were in school, they never explained enough the whole pagan thing, like the idea around. You know what I'm saying? Like they all because if Quis was gonna get a little bit further, I'm gonna let you get back into it, but it molded and blended into a lot of religions that were coming up already and came out of Catholicism. But you were gonna say,
So I'm not too well versed in paganism, but like the gist of it is it involved a lot of male interaction, where like the males would come together and have ceremonies of like sex, food, and wine and things like that with both young boys and themselves. There was a lot of like animal sacrifice and
there's a lot of
animal-
hedonist
there's a lot
lifestyle.
a lot of what the Catholicism's referred to as heathenism.
Yeah, hedonism.
So a lot of things that like sacrificing and or having a ceremony of blood idols or things like that. A lot of things like that and bone structure, all of that type of stuff was involved in paganism.
Yeah.
So as like the smaller, more based religions are starting to come up, so like the early Catholicisms and things like that, they started to realize that because of how the pagan traditions were structured, their religion was quote quote not fun enough. Like no one wants
Yo, that's
to
funny how
convert-
you brought that up.
no one wants to convert to sitting and being
There was
when
a-
I could go out, get drunk with the homies, and even if it's kind of gay, go fuck something.
yeah, like
That's the mentality back then.
yeah.
Like you get what I'm saying? That's what the mentality was
Yo,
back
no
then.
funny
and that's
shit.
what they were battling in that time.
It's
Of
Keisha,
paganism.
You brought up something that I learned recently.
I'll
Ethan's
remind
be safe. Which one call it? But there was a there was a lot of battles back then with that, with those lifestyle choices and things like that, because like when you in the early days of Christianity, like he said, the whole basically like the whole Christianity thing was just like, yo, we're anti-cool. Actually, cool's kind of gay. Like, you know what I mean? Like there was actually a point, like you can go back and like look at like letters that were like sent to like some of the like disciples of Christ, like Paul. He got executed basically because the nigga just like, he really wanted to spread the word of Christ. Like he was just like, yo, you guys are bugging over here. Like there were so many different temples where you would go to, and like imagine this. I just learned this when I'm like listening to another podcast, but like it's basically like a pussy in Ruth Chris temple. Like we just go there, or like whatever crazy steakhouse you could think of. People just brought like their best cows. They'd slaughter them, serve the meat, and just pass it around, and then also just get pussy. You get what I'm saying? And like that was what Christianity was fighting against at the time. And there's letters to like Paul from his own disciples going like, hey, yo, I know we said we're not gonna do like sex out of marriage and stuff like that, but can we still go get like food at that place at least? Like, you know what I'm saying? And then there's letters of him writing back like, bro, that shit's not real. Don't worry about it. Just go what you can call it. Eat the food. Like it's just food.
So like the ideas came to this, I guess, melting point for like the bigger like purpose. So paganism was slowly phased out because all of the other budding religions, so Catholicism then split into like the 7 or 8 different branches that we know it as today. Like, and
Catholicism being the youngest of the 3 major original monotheists. So Judaism, Muslim, and Catholicism, and so Christianity,
Judaism. And
those 3 religions was running the world.
Judaism was like number one.
Is always gonna. It still is.
Yeah,
still is.
It's the oldest.
It's the oldest religion. There are more Jews on the planet than there are any other religious grouping of people.
Oh no, Christians are flocking, bro.
Do you know how many people
we gotta look that up.
You know how many people convert to Judaism or being Muslim every day from Christianity?
Yeah, I was about to say, because I think it's between, I know Muslim.
Well, the Muslim thing, you can definitely convert.
That's what I'm saying. Like, do you know how many people
Judaism thing is not as easy.
I think
it's you have to be born into that shit. Like, you can't just, like, you have to be, like, really blessed in. Because I'm pretty sure, like, to be, like...
All right, so being
a process.
It's easier to convert to being Muslim than it is to being Jewish, I believe.
That's all I was saying.
Slightly.
That's all I was saying.
Because the practices of being Muslim are, yes, a little bit more tedious on the day-to-day with the multiple times of prayer, the elimination of food in your diet, and then the strict regimen of like church and worship. However, the conversion is easier to do.
You got papers?
You are much more likely to get like a forgiveness and an opportunity to fully become a born again Muslim, essentially. Whereas to be Jewish, there is a series of rituals and ceremonies that you must complete. Like, you have to complete them in order to be viewed as a true Jewish man. You have to have a mitzvah.
Yeah, you gotta have a bar mitzvah.
You have to have a mitzvah.
He's got some papers.
I only have 1 left.
Yeah, he done.
Damn.
I had 2. I took 1 out, and this is it.
Yeah, I got that one. I don't know.
And then
Gucci.
Oh, you're gonna look. I got 3 left. I took the Warner paper out. You know, when that shit happened, you know, you only got, and I used like 2 after it. So this is probably the last one. But the point being, all of those things, like, you know, start coming to a head, and you're like forced to make like decisions on whether you want to actually go through those ceremonies to become Jewish, because it's a long-term process. You have to learn how to read from the Torah. Yeah. Like, actually read, and then you have to read it in a traditional Jewish tongue.
It's the same thing with the Quran too. I think I was gonna bring that up. It's like there's a lot of like similarities on both sides, but I do believe that it's
It's a longer process and it's harder.
Yeah,
and there's more rituals to becoming a full Jewish male.
Yeah.
You
It's
then
way
have
more
something.
exclusive.
and
It's
there's
very
separate different, there's
exclusive.
different sectors or whatever you call it of like.
Or
So you could be Hasidic, you could be like Orthodox.
Exactly. So that's why I say there's so many more Jews on the planet than you really think about, because when you hear Jewish, you really just go straight to the Hasidic Jews. But there are so many other people who are just like, there and exist.
I know
Bro,
what
you could
mean.
use words. She's like,
Sit right here.
you like, you just pointing and stuff. Like, use
My
words.
fault. You can come over here and sit right here.
You could walk behind the camera.
Facts.
So you could give me the mic real quick. I'll reach out and grab it.
Yeah, you can find your
walk
stepping.
And then
There
you
is
just
another
stick
chair
the
over there.
Over there, so you don't have to worry about it.
It'll be valid.
I'll just pass this around. And I'm pretty sure my camera is off already.
Yeah. You heard it too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I turned
Yeah.
it to us anyway.
But yeah,
But so there's just more rituals in the process to it. So I think that's why there's less people who you really hear about going through it, because it's also something that's very privatized.
yeah, I was about to say it's very exclusive.
Like
Very
you're not
exclusive.
like, it's something about the Jewish faith. I don't know personally what it is, but they tend to be very, very private with their dealings with each other and keep it to
Oh,
themselves.
you want to hear something crazy? I just watched one of the Soft White Underbelly interviews, and there was this shorty. She was she basically escaped her family. They was Hasidic Jews, and basically she was touched and molested. And they basically and that's basically when she was like, I can't do this, because they would basically keep it in the family. Like, they'll keep it, like, it was like, this is not something you supposed to speak of outside of the family or outside of our small community. Like,
Yeah.
Well,
That
there's,
shit is-
that's
something
separate
that
from
happened.
religion.
That's separate from
That's
religion,
That's
but
just
it's-
like I wouldn't even say poverty, but that's just some like internal
That's just an internal struggle with
Yeah,
that
internal
personal
struggle
family.
inside that,
but
yeah.
in general,
yeah, but she was trying to say it's something that they do amongst Hasidic Jews. Like, you're not supposed to go say anything outside of like.
well,
community.
they
That's what I was trying to get to
definitely
the
have
point.
like a means of like, damn it, you got to stop
Yeah.
holding it like this, bro. You done fucked up this whole shit. This is probably jingling.
Bro, how
It
about
was like
you
that when I got
tighten
it.
the
Like
boom?
he fucked up the band somewhere. It's
Fuck
right
up no
here.
band, nigga. That shit was like that.
It's not even the band, it's the arm itself. The arm
Yeah,
just
this
needs to
shit
be
is
tightened. Tighten that middle knob right there. That's keeps swiveling. No, that one up there. Bro, the band is
Like,
fine.
No, there's a second band right here.
But you could fix that later.
Just leave
the
it alone.
thing that's
Talking about up there.
that middle. No, the middle section, dogs. No, one more down. It should be right there. That should lock into place.
valid.
This is continue.
Like the shit was just gonna keep going back and
Yeah,
forth.
it's just gonna keep swinging.
And now it shouldn't swing. You gotta tighten it. It's because y'all kept moving it back and forth. The arm got loose, and then the little screw.
Yeah, come over
No,
here.
it's not like
This shit
y'all didn't do
broke.
nothing wrong. It's just y'all, every time y'all move it to get up, y'all gotta remember to tighten it back. My shit was doing that last week.
But now I know.
I was talking about these bands right here on these
Yeah, bro.
mics.
The
so they-
stabilizer
Yeah, I know, I was
band
looking at
is
them.
fine. It might not moving that much.
You know, now it's valid.
That's more for like when you got a mic suspended. That's what these are for.
Don't fuck with me even if they could.
But yeah, so yeah, they're just a real private community, and that's something that happens. But yeah, the world that we live in America isn't designed for someone of our skin color to necessarily advance. Not to say that it's impossible, because the world is ever changing, and we're still trying to catch up to all the things that we were set back on initially. Like,
How you feel about the reparations, man?
I was just about to get to that. So, like, rather than give us reparations for things that they, like, crucify us for, they, like, how do y'all feel about the idea that we don't get reparations for the drug crimes and marijuana crimes as a community? They just expunging your record and giving you first dibs at the business to pay taxes.
I think that's just. I think it's still fucking you in the long run.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
You're not doing anything but just saying like, yo, my bad, bro. Listen, you got first dibs to pay me. How yo?
Basically, like, you
we'll
pay
waive
tax
the
on
first
what?
fee, but we still need that 30 stacks because actually that's how it works. They even let you skip the line. They let you they don't even let you have to pay the
You have to pay the registration fee, but you don't have
the registration fee is
$2,500.
Yeah, it's like 20. No,
Yeah, we was talking about that before.
Bro, I've looked it up extensively. There's only one license in New York that you can get right now. It is for actual growing. You already had to own a plant.
Oh, no. What I was talking about, the whole dispensary thing.
To get a dispensary, you can't get that license yet.
Yeah. Because they're not even accepting applications.
They're not. You can't get one. They're not. The rules aren't written yet, but it's $2,500 for that application. It's $2,000 for the growing application. They've already set pricing.
Yeah.
So, and that's the starting rate. It could be more.
Because I was about to say the dispensary one is a lot larger. I was talking about like
you have to have capital outside of your application. So there's a processing fee for your application.
The processing fee in New York, and they opened it up in, I think, what was it, 2018 when they first legalized it, but it literally was like an instant shutdown because they had so many people put in the application, and like they only literally opened it up to like people who are legitimate doctors. So it's like most of like the dispensaries that got instant approval, and they weren't instantly open. They were like, some of these places, like they took like a year or two to get open. But
that's technically because the way they did it in 18 is
they were charging, bro. Hold up, let me just get this off. They were charging $300,000 for the fucking application, and the processing fee was 30 bands, my brother.
And that's just to maybe get in.
That's because in 18. You didn't just have to get the dispensary, you had to acquire the land to grow it on, or have a company that you were partnered with in order to grow it on. And that's why those hemp farms that now were the first 52 to get the licensing, because they were none of the, I have no idea about the farming part. That's what I'm trying to say. The reason in 18, the reason it happened that way was because you weren't just going in to get a license to distribute it on a medical basis. You were getting the license to grow and distribute for the American government on a medical basis, which is a very, very different application. So you had to have...
Have you ever seen the card? The medical marijuana card?
Yeah. So you had to have... If you were putting through that application, they had to know that you had X amount of dollars to fund the project and actually get the things done, because you needed to go get FDA regulations on your product that you're growing now, because you're going to be distributing this smokable and consumable product to everybody that, is medically cleared. You also have to go and get them to make sure you're growing it properly, all that other type of shit. Yeah. You got to go get...
You niggas not smoking medical...
You know what I'm saying? Then they're going to have to get...
FDA approved weed.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all going to have to get your dosages and everything right, which again, more from the FDA, and then some other type of administration I'm sure is involved in trying to, regulate the agriculture side of it, because it's not just, something you consume in a drug. It's a plant at the end of the day that is plant life. So how can it affect the areas in which you grow it? What are the long-term effects on the other things in this area, like schools, zoning, towns need to get paid so that you can acquire the land and rip up their land and then plant this stuff. There were so many things that you were getting with that deal back then that it allowed for the infrastructure to even exist.
So you're basically saying it's basically like an all-in-one thing.
Like back then, it was an all-in-one thing, and a contract with the
right to just
and a contract with the government. Like you work for the state.
So that's understandable.
It's different. Like you were working for the state. Like now, if you were putting in an application,
it would make sense because even in there, I do think there like when I think back at it, there were like points where they were talking about growing and other things like that, because it was literally like telling you in there is like, this gives you the right to purchase, transport, distribute, fucking not merchandise, but
on a completely medical basis,
and all that shit.
Medical basis only, and that means you work for the state. If you are doing anything that is strictly medical and only the state is in charge of you, you work for the state. If you are a private pharmaceutical company, you're talking about a different ball game now, and that's essentially what you could probably call all the other like dispensaries. Like essentially you are selling a product that the FDA deems recreational.
You are private. You're totally right. That's what Cookies is.
You're a privately owned institution. So because you're privately owned, you can do whatever it is that you really want with your pricing. and whatever, because you're just going to pay the state tax for selling the product.
You just and you're there's certain liabilities that'll fall onto you versus falling onto the state, because I know what you're saying.
So now like the other thing is, you still have to get your product. You're not growing your product if you get a distribution license. You're acquiring your product from somebody who is a registered grower with the FDA. If that make none of the cookies, like none of the weed you buy in cookies or any dispensary is all FDA approved essentially, because the states are legal.
Well, the states,
I'm pretty sure it says it on the back of the bag in the
Federal Drug Administration.
That doesn't?
That's all. It always tells you
the Food and Drug Administration.
Oh, okay.
It's the Food and Drug Administration.
Hell no, I'm almost confident it's not, because remember, it's still not legally federally.
It's not illegal federally.
No, I'm pretty sure it is still a class 1 drug federally. That's why everything is statewide.
Yeah, because I think that's why Atlanta still go harder for weed. Like they say, you get locked up for weed quicker than
states have weed on an illegal status. It is not federally illegal, but it is not federally legal either.
The seller.
If you travel with it from one state to the other,
you committed a crime. That is a federal crime.
No, you get charged based on the state you travel with it from and the amount you travel with, because you can fly from California to New York now with weed. You can fly from New York to California with weed.
Those are two states in a green.
Those are two states that are green, because it is not federally legal or illegal, but drug trafficking is illegal.
Because there's still always a maximum.
It's a weight and an amount.
There's
like if you go through TSA and you got a quarter in your bag, they're not sending you to federal prison. They're taking your weed. They're writing you a ticket. At most, you might get arrested, like for real. But
my mom lied to me.
But they not. Yeah, they're not gonna send you to prison over a dime bag, over some shit like that. There is a limit to what you can travel with on a plane, because then you're considered a trafficker. Drug trafficking in any form is illegal. So if you have over a certain amount of weed, no matter who you are, and you don't have documents saying why you're transporting it, and one, it shouldn't be on a commercial. It should be on a commercial flight, not on a passenger flight. Like it should be on some type of industrial plane or something if it's getting flown in. And then if something's getting imported into the country, automatically the FDA has to approve it. You can't distribute anything in this country that is food or drugs without the FDA's approval, because they are a federal thing. So it doesn't matter what state you operate in, wherever you grow your weed,
it's still what you want to call it.
Wherever you grow your weed,
really in that weird limbo.
The FDA has to be approving you, because you're doing something that is
still illegal federally. There's just the House has passed which we call it a bill, but it has to go through the Senate. That's most likely. This is the same juggling effect that's happening.
So that's what I'm saying. Because of that, that's what I'm saying. Because of that, it's not federally legal or illegal. Still, it is just something that has not been decided upon.
It's still illegal because the law hasn't changed. That's the thing. Once the law changes, it takes it from illegal. That's the thing.
If it was illegal federally, would a state be able to say that it's not?
No, listen. This is a conversation. I'm kind of glad you're kind of like talking about. No law is really upholdable and absolute. Like that's why you go down south in some of these these backyard barn ass fucking towns. You could try to go and get your license legalized and to get married. You know what I'm saying, as a gay couple. And them niggas might pull a gun out on you and tell you to get
the fuck out of here.
And if you call police gonna be like, what the fuck you doing out here? And tell you, listen, this is not the town you want to be in. It's time for you to leave. You get what I'm saying? Basically what I'm trying to get at is the only reason why these things are we all are just in agreement that the law is the law and we'll do it. And that's basically this is how we keep order. You get what I'm saying? But there's places where it's just nigga, the order has to be upheld by the people is what I'm trying to get at. So it's the same way you're asking this question, it's no, not necessarily. Someone has to uphold that. You have to find people willing to uphold that. And there's police officers.
It all comes down to the judge.
So there's police officers that I've literally been pulled over and they be like, listen, man, I remember being a kid. Throw that shit on the ground. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
And that was before it was legal here.
Fact. Gangster. And then I've had cops, while it was legal, be like, step out of the car. And I'd be like,
because
hold
you're
on.
not supposed to be smoking in your vehicle.
No. But then no one's ever caught me smoking in my vehicle. But the thing is, if you got good weed, it smells, and that's still probable cause.
Technically, that's illegal, and knowing your rights is important. If a cop pulls you over and your car smells like weed, that is not probable cause for them to ask you to step out of the vehicle anymore.
And you're definitely right. As of 2022, but I'm talking about like
no, even before 2022.
I mean, excuse me. I think it was 2020. I apologize. I don't think it was that long ago.
It's like 2019, 2020, somewhere in that
somewhere around those times.
But you're right. Since it's been legal here, when they passed it, knowing your rights is important. That's why they always tell you.
I know that now, but at the time, it's like, nigga, you're playing hard to get. Like you could play a deadly one, and that's all it is. I
think I think that's a topic for another day, because like I have like lots of opinions on like cops and civilian interaction that I think everybody should kind of like take a little bit of a listen to, because I think that it's everybody's fault that cops and civilians have the relationship that they do. I don't think it's just cops. I don't think it's just civilians. I think that there's a lot of things to get fixed.
You want to pause this and then just do a double one? Because we just to knock it out.
I got to call these dudes at the video game spot soon, so I don't know.
How soon?
I'm waiting for him to text me back, so I keep tapping my phone.
Gotcha. Because I was about to say,
it might just be the door.
Oh, yeah, most likely. Oh, no, that is not somebody just at the door.
Who is that? Basically I think that there's a lot of stuff to go into that, so we'll save the cop opinions and that for another day. But to the point of like weed and shit like that, it's like, so as I was just like reading the article, so you're right, it is illegal on a federal level, but because of the amendments that are in the Constitution, it allows for states to eliminate persecution on a state level of their or prosecution on a state level of their citizens for being in compliance with state law. That is usurped by federal law. However, because of the usage rates in the states and more states following suit, it has almost eliminated the need for federal prosecution. So and now look, your laws with flying, yes, they're federal, but going state to state, what you can take into your states is still a thing, because there's certain states you can't do certain things in, and we might not know all the specifics, but we know some of the weird outlandish ones, like certain states still have like slavery still written into their state and their town constitutions and shit like that. So like
crazy.
So like there's certain, like, you know what I'm saying, like some people still got like it's not active because it's federally illegal,
you know, there's
and you
literally
can't
a sundown
but it's still
town in
on their
every
books
state.
in a sense. Like they haven't removed it completely off their books in a sense. So because of that, it's just like the federal government, they haven't removed it from their books. As you stated, there's a bill passed, they're arguing, they're going back and forth to this day. But because of all the states passing it, when you go to a state that allows the carry of it, now you're just like, okay, well, in New York, you can have 3 ounces on you, or like at any time. I think that's the maximum that you can have on you at any given time.
Yeah.
And then you're allowed to have 3 plants or 4 plants per person,
like 3 to
up
5.
to a maximum of like 12 plants in a household, no matter how many people live there. So like with those regulations now, obviously you're not going to fly to Cali with 3 zips in your bag. The TSA is going to scan it or pick that up, and you're going to jail because you got 3 zips in your bag. You're trying to
it's all, and that's another thing people don't know. Like airports are like technically international, like
drop points for the federal.
So they don't.
Government.
So they all fall in the federal situation. So if you do some bullshit in the airport, that you can technically be hit with a federal crime.
But like if you fly, like people do it all the time. Even before it was legal in New York, they would fly back with like a quarter an ounce or some shit like that.
Used to flying with pounds, bro. I still bust my skull.
Like, all right, well that's luck.
Pillowcases.
Like,
I be asking, I'm like, y'all niggas is telling. There's no
luck.
way.
No. That's just luck, because you gotta think about it. If you really happen to catch somebody on a lazy day at TSA, like they see thousands and thousands and thousands of people a day. they're not looking at every scan the most vigilantly, and then on top of the fact that they're not looking at every scan not most vigilantly, they're rotating and moving. So like somebody could talk to them real quick while your bag goes through, and you didn't even distract them. The person next to you distracted them, or your bag goes through, and then you set off the alarm. So the person who's looking at the monitor looks up at you and tells the person that's standing there to scan you. So like there's plenty of times where things can like go by them and they wouldn't really notice it, or they could just see it and be like, well, this isn't like on my threat level radar for today. Like you are not worth my time. I don't need 1 pound. I'm not doing the paperwork for 1 pound. All right, but you came in with a pound. This guy came in with a pound. And this guy came in with a pound. All right, I'm going to take all three of y'all now, see if y'all working together. Does that make sense? Like if we all came in on the same flight, or even if we came in like flights, like rotating flights, you know what I mean? Different areas or different times. But we all came in with a pound. They going to look at us and be like, we probably shouldn't have let those guys go today. All three of them came in from this area, just on rotating flights. Should have stopped at least one of them. Because maybe they're just the mules to traffic the drugs for someone else. And that's the kind of ball game I think they like also have to play. Because like, bro, you're not going to get every drug bust. And if you actually want to stop the drug crime because of like how we had the war on drugs in America and how like poorly that went, I think that they've had like a much different approach in more recent years and trying to use the science that we now have access to in the most, logical way possible. Like before 9/11, you could walk through an airport and do whatever the fuck you wanted. Yeah. Like
there's a point when you could smoke cigarettes on a plane, bro.
Like you could do anything you wanted in an airport pre 9/11. Yeah. Bro, I took one plane ride before 9/11. One.
Do you remember that?
And I remember it because it was easy as fuck. The very next year, after 9/11, I took another plane ride. And that shit was hell. Honestly, and then my family stopped taking planes and started driving everywhere when we went to visit family down south. Yeah. And that's how that shit started. So yes, I remember that shit vividly.
Back in the days, man, them early 2000s.
I used to sleep in the minivan in the back up until I was like 16. Anytime they went down south, bro, we was driving and I slept in the back of the Honda Odyssey. So I remember all them trips. So I vividly remember.
OD.
I vividly remember going through that airport, easy as hell. Little Mickey Mouse backpack on, chilling. Walk through, got my little headphones on, playing my Game Boy.
I think nowadays,
greatest experience.
I think nowadays when it comes to that weed shit, especially on the federal level, I'm pretty sure nowadays they save their money on finding people evading taxes.
Not even just that.
I really think like making money off drugs, just evading taxes. Like, and I'm talking about like they don't have the time to just be thinking about a 1 or 2 pounds. They're looking for like a farm that's just like secretly growing a whole nother 200 pounds that they don't want to tell nobody
like 16
about.
dudes come in on a flight from California. 9 of them got pounds on them. All right, we got to stop one of the dudes that if I see any of these names again, I'm gonna stop them.
Yeah.
Or the next time I see 3 dudes in the same day come through with a pound, I'm stopping one. Because clearly they getting it from somewhere frequently enough where they can be sending it here. They're drug trafficking.
Nigga, they be booking and shit.
Like I don't want really, bro. They don't have time to write up the paperwork for a mule because then they're gonna be there all night. Like, bro, they still working at the end of the day. And yes, it's their job, but this is something that I think everybody in this room will agree with. We don't really give a fuck about your job except for the fact that it pay you.
If you've ever been, I don't know if y'all have ever been arrested, but when you sit down and actually watch them do paperwork,
that shit, they don't do no really fucking, like.
No, you're bugging.
Nah,
bro.
when I went, they were just sitting down. They're just
what?
Like,
bro, I've been arrested.
Nigga, didn't you have a planned arrest?
A planned arrest is crazy, kinda, yeah.
Exactly, that's not the same thing.
I've been arrested.
Them niggas probably cooked up the paperwork before you even.
I've been arrested twice,
bro.
Twice.
Yada.
One time, and like one time actually senior year, coming home from summer school, somebody offered to buy my shoes, I was like, yeah, I'll sell them to you. We was walking. Some lady left her window open. We snatched the purse. I just wanted the cash. This nigga kept all the cards. I was like, all right, fuck it. Niggas caught us right by Atkinson, bro. Walking right before I got to Geo crib. Niggas booked us. Took everything. Arrested us, bro. I swear to God, them niggas was doing paperwork for like 6 hours.
Yo, bro, they have to account for every dime.
Bro, they
every
was
penny,
doing
every pocket.
They was doing paperwork for so long, bro. At one point, I seen the dude start to fall asleep while typing. Bro, I'm sitting there in the little cage in the precinct, bro, in Freeport, bro. This nigga is just typing away. I'm like, damn.
Why do all police officers do that? Why do they?
Because they all got big ass sausage fingers and they don't really know how to type. There's not.
None of them really on some.
Do you have clerical skills? That's a clerk skill. Like clerical skills are typing, filing, those type of things. Like,
a little bit.
If I sit down and concentrate and be like, all right, I really got to type. I know how to put my fingers on the home buttons, on the home keys.
I'm gonna ask a question. Can you type 120 words per minute?
Absolutely not.
So then you do not have the ability to type, because a base level person that has practiced the skill of typing can type 120 words per minute because they're just doing this. Not even looking down at the keyboard. And that's just like someone who has a baseline understanding of the actual skill of typing. 120 words per minute is like, oh, you actually know how to type.
There was a nigga.
You probably could. If you don't look at the screen when you type already, then you know how to type. Because if you're not looking down to make sure you're hitting the right keys, you know how to type. You might not type at that aggressive speed because you're not practiced and like doing it all the time.
I've tested
mine.
But you could easily
probably do it after like a little bit of practice.
I've tested mine. I had to do it for for Prosper. Like when we was in high school, they had us in a program or whatever. Long story short, we had like a test and it was like a timer. So like after what? It's not as hard as you think. After like I think like 3 weeks, I beat it. Like just boom. And it's like you keep getting closer and closer. Like I think my first go I got like 89 or whatever, and then it just gradually got up. And then by the end of like 3 weeks, I'm like I passed the 120 because they were like the whole point was to make you have a resume by the time you get out of high school that's like you could fit in any job, whether it be desk, whatever fields you need to get into.
Exactly. But you still got to practice.
Yeah.
Like that is something. It's just like any other skill.
I know I'm rusty now. I know I'm probably back at like 89.
If you look down at your keyboard at any point when you have to type, you don't know how to properly type. Unless like one of your keys happen to like stick or not working, you're like what the fuck, and you looking, you know what I mean? And don't get it wrong. People who type fast still make mistakes. So I'm not saying that like every single word is gonna be perfect. You might hit a typo or two. But there's going to be literally a typo or two. It's not going to be every single word has a red line under it needing to be fixed. It's a few of them that just need a brief, quick. And usually those will autocorrect because it's like you missed a letter and in the context of what you're typing, like that stuff usually like
in the editing field, they call those like hotkeys and shortcuts. Like that actually like they're created to like actually like really slow, shrink the amount of time it takes for you to get like a task done on a computer. Like you technically do not need a mouse necessarily.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You really can just press a button and go through everything and press enter.
You can tab F and find and like search for certain words on a page and all that stuff. So because of all of that, like when you really learn a keyboard and how to type, you can do so much. But like, to the point, that's why them niggas be filling out paperwork so long. Typing is not a skill that you would predominantly expect of a police officer. Their job does not their job doesn't necessarily dictate that they're going to be typing. Yes, they might have to do paperwork, but their job doesn't necessarily dictate that they need to have the clerical skill to type 120 words a minute. And then also they have to write up a report on the entire incident. They got to take both statements and type them if there's more than one person involved, or even still there's a victim and a fugitive. So they got to take both statements at the end of the day regardless. Then there's the actual processing of making sure you are who you say you are, checking your ID, putting your ID into the computer system, putting your fingerprints into the computer system, then logging all of that information with your name and everything underneath it. Then they need to fact check your address. They need to check any of the other things that just to make sure you are who you say you are. They have to go through every single one of your items and every single thing in your wallet, on your person, in your pockets, your shoelaces, all of that. They have to list and detail everything that you have on you and write it down in their report. Then everything that they took from you, if you've stolen something.
What shoes? What color shoes you got on? I was sitting there like, like they like black and white.
Literally, like they ask you.
It's like it's nothing else on there. I'm like, it's a little bit of red.
A little red. They got it. What? There's in Nikes, Adidas.
Yeah, I was like,
they'll be like, they Nikes, like whatever. And you sitting there answering these questions like, nigga, what the fuck? What the fuck? All of that shit got to do with nothing. Or you changed to the bench. You got your little shit on the wrist, and you just sitting there like. And they just typing away. You're like, what the fuck is all this shit? Bro, when you really sit and think about it, bro, they're doing 50 to 100 pages of paperwork minimum. Yeah. Minimum per incident. And then they have to duplicate that because it has to have one copy for their records, one copy for the precinct records, and possibly have to do it in triplicate because they need a copy for the department chief or the head of the department or whoever. You know what I'm saying? So like, essentially, they got to do that paperwork in triplicate because there's no way for them to just have 3 copies. They got to fill out each form basically in triplicate, so they're filling it all out like back to back to back to back. So they do one form 3 times, the next one 3 times, 3 times, 3 times, 3 times, 3 times.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I ain't gonna front.
So it's like, fuck. You gotta think about it.
You gotta really think. Aaron.
You gotta think about the efficiency. Putting in that work,
bro.
I still can't believe he a cop.
Yeah, I was just thinking. So many of
I'm gonna kill this one and then just start another one because they still haven't texted you.
Let me call him. Let me call Mr. Michael.
Yo, it's always good with y'all. Y'all be safe, man. We gonna run another one up.
Cuzzies.